Welcome to Mobile Legends!
They are one of the most experienced and most well-loved teams here in the MPL. So let's see if they can pull this off and split this series and force a Game 3 against Bren Esports. We see from the get-go Execration rocking the 3 masks right away, and they could begin funneling right into Hate's carry.
So Lasty is actually going to be playing the Atlas here as well for Bren. So it's going to be interesting to see how effective he will be on that hero. I mean, he made his name as the Grok. Will he wow us with his Atlas? That still remains to be seen, but definitely Lasty, a player of very high mechanical skill.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. Oh, wait, hold that thought, because it looks like Coco is going to get caught out here. Execration now amping up the aggression right away, protecting and making sure that they get their Litho Wanderer and they get to continue farming for their carry. The question here for me is, in a team fight setting, how well can Lasty time up the Fatal Links from the Atlas? Because one Fatal Links can completely negate Chaknu's attempt to drop down the Numenon Blast from Lolita. If Lasty pops it off too early, they might not have enough stops to stop Chaknu's ultimate, and that might just completely turn around the fight for Execration. Meanwhile, turn it around, if Lasty times it perfectly and just waits for Chaknu to pop in that Numenon Blast and then pops off the Fatal Links, that's gonna be really bad for Execration.
Plus, like you said, I think with the Lolita, I think Execration have that initiation advantage. And lastly, it's going to be a bit harder initiating with that Fatal Link, but it's possible. But in terms of counter-initiating, I think it's going to be much more doable for the side of Bren Esports.
Let's see here. 0 for 0 right now. Looks like Rebo is going to get caught out, but Benny Cutie, does he have the Wave Dragon? Not yet. He's only level 3, but Execration is there to respond, and Rebo is taking a lot of damage, and Hate gets the kill. That's going to be a first blood there on that carry for Hate.
Definitely mad from the last game. Execration were against Rebo. They were just all eyes on him, no mercy. You even noticed that Benny Kitty went ahead just to get the buff so that he would have no way of running. Just the little things. Execration at least getting on the board early. Still, they did go kind of behind in gold there since they committed quite a lot for Rebo there.
Yeah, and they're committing a lot for this rotation, but they do have the very small lead here. Let's see if Execration can keep this up. 15 seconds until the turtle comes on. Coco is going to get caught out here by Zapnu and Chaknu. The Zap and Chak connection sees them, but the Battle Mare image is going to be used by Claude just to get away, and Thomas just spaces himself out to get to a safer position here. Chaknu, great check there onto the buff. More info there to allow them to have a little bit more confidence setting themselves up for this turtle if they do decide to get it.
And both teams posturing towards that turtle right now. But in terms of numbers, Execration have the easier rotations. Cho is going to be able to see Carmilla and Claude over by the river. And this will open up the turtle take for Execration. But they decide against it. Just to respect that Bren with any team with Lasty on their lineup, you just gotta respect it. And when they can just steal their objectives like that, the fear settles in.
Chaknu, Sairu, and Hate spots out Lasty. Coco trying to stop them. It looks like they might be starting off the turtle already. Coco's gonna get there, but here comes Zapnu and the rest of Execration. Bren Esports is in here for the help also, but Cider is there. Joe, meanwhile, in the top lane is just pushing, so it's gonna be a 5v4. They're gonna take out Bren Esports. Coco, Zapnu on the run, getting really low, but he's gonna get the assist of the heal, and here comes the Numenon Blast! And they get it, and they get the ejector as well. But the wraparound here from Few, Rebo, and Carl Tizi just completely messes up Hate and the positioning of Bren. Of Execration there, and that one wraparound just messes up the momentum that Execration found. They had the fantastic setup, they had the advantage for that team fight, but they just did not expect that wraparound from Bren Esports. But just as I say that, Execration is still in this fight. Saire taking the brunt of the damage, but here comes Coco and here comes Claude. Will they be able to handle this? Execration onslaught, the shutdown on the Claude. Coco still fighting through it. Benny Cutie has to Refind the perfect position. They take out the Lolita, and Bren Esports have the control. Execration not able to turn it around completely, and we are going to be seeing a reset from these two teams.
Execration really have to rely on a perfect Luminum Blast from Shakno. Unfortunately, Bren, they know exactly what they have to do in order to win these fights. Just make sure that the Luminum Blast doesn't connect on to the important targets. I mean, we didn't go back that far back into the replay, but earlier Bren forced the Luminum Blast to just go on one hero, which basically changed the whole fight in favor of Bren Esports all the way.
NagkaMANYAKAN, though, valiant effort, had the right idea, but he just took too much damage from Lusty when that perfect match came back, and then combined with that Annihilate was just a little bit too much for Chaknu and NagkaMANYAKAN. But Execration still going to be going for this turtle, really focusing on the objectives right now. NagkaMANYAKAN finds the zoning that they need. Way of Dragon goes in. They kick Rebo all the way to where Rebo doesn't want to be. What a play there by NagkaMANYAKAN, and Execration might turn this just around. But Coco with a Continent Inferno taking too much damage, but he's still up somehow. That's a double kill for NagkaMANYAKAN. Chaknu now spots out Few. They get the stun on Few. Zapnu with the unstoppable force. Here comes the Numenon Blast. They get the stun. Lasty though, here he comes on that Atlas. NagkaMANYAKAN just tried to get away from that, so it's Zapnu and Few one-on-one. Few forced to back, and that is gonna be a win there for Execration.
And Execration playing like split second perfectly there, because Rebo managed to get the Aegis off on the Angela, and they killed her just in time. A split second later, Bren could have turned that around while TZ was way up in the top lane. But yeah, Execration managed to make their gamble pay off. And you expect this from a team like Execration. If they can take risks, no matter how dangerous, they will go for it, no hesitation whatsoever. And that's what makes people fall in love with them.
Exactly. Oh, Lasty! Oh my goodness, that Fatal Links with the blazing duet from out of nowhere! Bren Esports, Lusty setting up the play, but now NagkaMANYAKAN might have just been able to get TZ, but TZ gets to get away. Hate now getting really low. He's on the run. He gets taken out, and that was all Atlas, all Lusty. That Fatal Links followed up by TZ's blazing duet. What a play! I wasn't expecting it, and it looks like Execration wasn't expecting it too, as we look at the replay of the clash we had in the turtle pit earlier. But we're gonna not look at that right now. Look at NagkaMANYAKAN though getting a kill there on TZ. Execration are pissed off right now, and that pickoff on their marksman, it's gonna hurt Bren Esports. Let's see if Execration can capitalize with 20 seconds until the Claude returns.
Man, Execration, for some reason, even if the Numenon Blasts aren't there, they're managing to win these fights thanks to the chaos. And I think that's where they really like having the Jawhead in, because of that ejector. The ejector potential to just split up the fight, and this is where Execration excels in.
And Execration isn't excelling at that point right now, but Bren Esports still have pretty respectable control of this. Execration, it's up to them to keep finding the right pick-offs and the right approaches to their team fights. It's really up to NagkaMANYAKAN and Zapnu to get that perfect pick-off, to get that perfect focus onto one target in the backline to completely mess up the approach of Bren.
Yeah, but still, 2,000 gold lead could be anybody's ball game right now. But, you know, with how strong their marksmen are at this point, one big fight is gonna be like a boatload of objectives right afterwards.
It looks like we might be seeing that big fight here as Bren Esports go for the turtle, but Execration with that steal! The Rafaela takes it side it, the Numenon Blast, they get the stuns, but it's just too much damage. The Wombo combo coming in from Bren Esports, just taking out every member of Execration. They're chasing Chaknu, Few is chasing Zapnu, it's Zap and Jack left. That's a maniac for the Claude, and Execration are down to one. Zapnu is forced to defend this on his own, and can Bren Esports end this? Will they decide to end this right here and right now?
You win a fight and you have catapults right on top of the enemy base. That is just, you know, a match made in heaven. And Bren Esports, they're gonna ride it all the way up there. They're just gonna win. Wow.
Bren Esports takes the match and takes the series. Swarty, what were you expecting?
I was expecting like, okay, sure, you'll win one fight and get all the turrets. I wasn't expecting to win one fight and just win the game. And Bren Esports, you know, just goes to show how good they are together. They won in the SEA Games, gold medalists, and they're showing once again why they are the team to beat here in MPL Season 5.